This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up? Back with another one. Today we're diving into Nicki Minaj's controversial tweet about Don Lemon and the reaction it caused on the Joe Budden podcast. So let's check this clip out.
I get it. It's on the board and I ain't write it, but we'll do it. I'm gonna do it because I think it's worth doing. Nicki Minaj wrote a tweet about Don Lemon, the former CNN host, respected journalist, revered member of the black community. She wrote, "Don sucking lemon is disgusting. How dare you? I want that thug in jail. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up."
What was this in regard to?
And has the image of the Chucky doll. This was in response to Don Lemon reporting on what happened in that church, right? And
Don Lemon met up with some people who went into the church who said that the pastor or somebody in the congregation was an ICE member. So they popped up in the church and they interrupted the service and they started calling the person named in Minneapolis and everything like that. So that's what happened.
So, you know, you can have a criticism of ICE or of Don Lemon or of either political side. You can say, hey, the Christian church is being attacked. Christianity is being attacked in ways that no one else is. We can agree, disagree, whatever. I don't have a nickel in that quarter. I don't have a thought on that particular thing.
You do, but that's fine.
I mean, I do, but I haven't thought about it enough to flesh out my opinion on it.
Okay.
Because to me, no matter who's right or who's wrong, you can't throw phobic slurs against people. And you know, watching Nicki do that, it feels like an unraveling again that I'm worried about, and I'm curious to know how, again, so many of the Barb's Nation who identify as LGBTQ are able to hold steady when you hear stuff like that. When she was going anti-trans, people say, oh, you know, there are a lot of queer people who don't care about trans folk or who have an issue with trans folk. But now she's calling him a sucker for no reason, and then she kind of doubled down on it. And responded to it by saying, I purposely wrote it that way because I knew that would be the only way to get the suckers to post about it. They would have all collectively ignored the despicable behavior displayed by Lemonhead. I'm glad they're angry. They're about to get angrier. And then the Chucky doll with the middle finger up. Again, to me, that's not a good enough response. You're Nicki Minaj. You can put a spotlight on any issue you want without revering homophobia. And just to use a comparable example, that would be like somebody saying, a white person taking the same issue and calling Don and then saying, well, I had to use the N-word for people to pay attention to what was happening in this church. We'd all say that's not okay. So why would it be okay to do that to Don Lemon? Of course, Don responded in his own way. He called her a pick-me, said that she's not, doesn't have a bandwidth for this conversation, said that she might be an illegal citizen, that she's a pick-me for Donald Trump in particular. He gave his own response, and shout out to Don for responding the way he wanted to. I don't know how he should have responded. I don't have a thought on that, but the whole conversation is disgusting to me, and I don't want to keep giving this light, but I also feel like ignoring it with someone who has that big of a platform is also irresponsible. So I'm conflicted about how we even talk about this.
I mean, well, if you're asking me, I'm not. Like, talking about it as much as it will come up will make me feel like I'm complicit in some way. And,
I feel that,
and I said I'm not talking no more about none of this Nicki. I ain't. That's me.
Yeah,
that's me. But I do get your point about how even that could be dangerous.
That's the problem.
But I don't want to magnify that. Whatever the audience is that has, I don't want to plus it by even one.
And see, my thing on it. You said something. You said she worded it this way because this will make people respond. See, when I hear that, it's almost like addressing it or covering it, playing in. I'm giving you what you want.
Yeah.
So that's what just me when I it's like if I could see you trying to get the response out of somebody or whatever, I don't want to do that.
Y'all convinced me of that with Kanye, and that's why I stopped commenting on Kanye. Y'all convinced me that was not the right way to engage him. But to me, Kanye at some point was yelling from the cheap seats. He was yelling from the margins, and it seemed different. Nicki is still very much. I mean, she's
didn't start that way with Kanye.
Yeah, exactly.
It took a while to get there.
Yeah, that's true.
There.
And so I don't know if that means we should get to this faster or we should ignore it sooner. I don't know the answer because I don't have the right answer here. But I feel really, and maybe because I know Don as well, I care more. But I just genuinely feel weird to watch someone so talented, so powerful, so popular, punch down like this. You know, it feels very I don't know. I feel like I need to do something.
Yeah, but my thing is once I've addressed this the first time it came up, and once I do, like, my position's been made clear.
Yeah.
This clip really shows how fast narratives can get out of control when media fills in gaps without full context.
Like, even that, I've heard you say that before. So it's like, okay, every time somebody does something, like, not somebody, but Nicki, like, are we going to come back to say, hey, this is what's happening with her, and this is what it feels like, and this is how I feel on the matter? Like, you know, how I feel. I've made it clear, and now I'm done over there.
I think y'all have convinced me again. So this, unless something unusual happens, the next commentary I make about Nicki Minaj is going to be about music.
That's where I'm at.
That's fair.
And I'm not sure I'm going to do that.
We got to do that.
I ain't sure. I ain't sure about that.
Really?
I'm just not sure. I'm going to sleep on it, but I'm not certain. All new music don't just guarantee you come up here and just get to kicking it about some music. Like, if I just don't know.
But she one of the biggest rappers in the world.
Some people
it's
just
hard to ignore that.
Awesome.
We ain't talking about the last 3 Kanye projects.
Yeah, word. Happy for her. Congratulations to her. She's earned it. It's well deserved. That don't mean that you have to talk about
That's
anything.
one of my favorite artists ever.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. What else? Who else? Josh Allen, Sean McDermott out as coach of the Bills.
That shocked me.
I didn't shock me. There's rumblings that they were going to move on from him, and
What's the argument? I mean, because they've been so successful.
Can't get over the hump.
can't get over that.
The Mike Tomlin argument that saying like, yo, dog, we just keep getting right here. I disagree with it, but
They got further though.
they was playing Patty, bro.
Josh Allen, you have to win that game. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's no excuse. You have to win that game in a playoff with no Burrow, no Mahomes, no Jackson.
he had some bad turnovers himself. He
Real
didn't
bad.
play great.
He always has bad turnovers. It just be going under the reps. Like,
Yeah, he's throwing the ball to Kincaid and Keon Coleman.
Yeah, their general management has dropped the ball for that team. I think they're a bigger scapegoat than McDermott.
Well, he's
personally.
gotten a promotion.
Nicki Minaj recently caused a stir on social media after posting a tweet about Don Lemon, the former CNN host, following his coverage of an incident at a church. In his report, Lemon highlighted a disruption at the service where some attendees confronted someone connected to ICE, and the situation gained widespread attention online. Nicki's tweet included strong language and an image of a Chucky doll giving the middle finger, a move she has used previously to grab attention. The discussion on the Joe Budden podcast revolved around whether her approach to the situation was appropriate, and the hosts debated how public figures should respond when social media amplifies conflicts. They noted that while people are entitled to their opinions and critiques, the way the conversation unfolded quickly escalated, leading to a larger back and forth online. Don Lemon responded to Nicki's post with his own comments, questioning her perspective and making a case for his approach to reporting the event.